All right, this morning, one of the biggest music stars on earth stepping into a political debate with a new song that seems to call out the government for the ongoing ICE raids happening across the country. Zach Bryan posted a clip of his new song, Bad News, on his social media account. Listen.
And ICE is gonna come bust down your door. Try to build a house, no bills no more, but I got a telephone. Kids are all scared and all alone. The bar stop bumping, the rock stop rolling, the middle fingers rising, and it won't stop showing. Got some bad news, the fading of a red, white, and blue.
All right, with us now, Democratic strategist Matt Bennett and former Republican strategist and pollster Lee Carter. I have no idea what Zach Bryan's politics are, like zero. What I do know is he's a country music star who just had the biggest single ticketed concert in U.S. history, attended by Kate Baldwin. 112,000 people packed into the stadium at Michigan here. He's a huge star, Lee. I think appeals to both the left, right, center, and everything. And I think I was just surprised to hear him with a new song like this.
I was very surprised because I think he has been apolitical intentionally. I think that he's really stayed in the lane of being a musician and not really making a political statement. Like Jason Aldean is clearly in the bag for Trump. So this is somewhat surprising to me to see it. But you know, the thing that I think is really fascinating is despite the fact that support for implementing immigration reform is hugely popular, these ICE raids are very, very unpopular. And so when you look at polling, it's like, well, they want to enforce the law, but when it comes to doing it, people are really, really up in arms. And so I think this is sort of a reflection of the cultural phenomenon that's happening right now, where people really are, this is hitting people right where they, you know, in their hearts.
You know, my son is a big Zach Bryan fan, and I was just texting with him a second ago, and he says, A, that this means we shouldn't make assumptions on someone's politics just because of the type of music they may, saying you don't make an assumption about a country music person, Matt. But the other thing here is sort of the mainstreaming, and Lee was just getting at this, the mainstreaming of questions, at least, about the ICE raids.
Exactly. I think your son is right. And I also think that when these kinds of issues break through into popular culture, you know that people are paying attention in ways that just consumption of the news doesn't always lead them to do. So I think Lee is also correct. The ICE raids are massively unpopular because they feel to people to be un-American. And we saw this in Trump 1 with the child separation. They might have supported controlling the border. They did not support ripping babies out of the arms of their mothers. They don't support now, you know, pulling people out of their cars at gunpoint, taking children outside with their hands zip tied together, pulling parents out of the line at pickup. These things feel violent and un-American to a lot of people. And when you start to see very, very prominent and you know, non-political cultural icons like this taking a stand, I think it's breaking through in a new way.
We are standing by. Very shortly, we are going to hear from the Attorney General Pam Bondi testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee. I think there are going to be a whole range of questions to ask her. First, about the Justice Department investigations. You have what's going on in different cities. And there's Jeffrey Epstein, which is still ongoing. And of course, she was smack dab in the middle of. President Trump was asked by Caitlin Collins yesterday about a possible pardon to Ghislaine Maxwell. Listen to what the exchange here.
You know, I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it.
But you're considering that?
I will speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So
why would she be a candidate?
I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be? But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it.
Seems like a pretty complicated answer there.
It does seem like a complicated answer, and one that you would think that he would be prepared to answer. The thing that I think is really interesting about Donald Trump and his use of pardons and executive power is he looks at it really as an exertion of power, not as what's popular. So when he looks at what he's going to say, he's like, I just want to make sure that it's very clear I am in charge here and I am the arbiter of what's going to happen or not. And I think he might be laying the groundwork to do it. Now, is he going to? That's a really good question. Why would he do it? I think in one hand, if he were to do this, it would put the story to bed. He would get a lot of backlash for it, and that would be that. Right now, it's a drip, drip, drip. This is constantly coming out and coming to haunt him at every moment. And so I think one of the strategies he might deploy is say, like, let's just put an end to it. Let's get the story out there and put it to bed once and for all. But for Trump, I think he looks at this as, I'm in charge here. I'm the one who's going to decide. And you know, whether you like it or not, I think that's what he does.
Matt, what do you think about the answer?
I mean, this is bizarre. The whole idea that she would be subject to even consideration for a pardon is ridiculous. But I think it is a symptom of the way that Trump has governed. I mean, the guy pardoned every single person that was beating up cops and attacking the Capitol on January 6th. He's pardoned all kinds of his political allies. Meanwhile, he has turned the Justice Department under Pam Bondi against his enemies in ways that are so incredibly overt. I mean, he posts on social media and then Bondi responds. And this is the way that this guy thinks that the justice system is supposed to work in America, and it is completely backwards. So it is the weaponization of the Justice Department against his enemies and the use of the justice system to reward his allies.
We will hear questions of Pam Bondi, I imagine, about these subjects a little later this morning. Matt Bennett, Lee Carter, great to see you both. Thanks so much.